Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about social anxiety disorder. What is that? Do you all know what phobias are? Phobias are fears. In simple terms, it's basically things that you are scared about. Now, social anxiety disorder is actually a mental health condition, right? It is actually a type of disorder that persons feel very much like if someone is, having judging them, or they have this anxiety where they are not comfortable with people, looking at them or being in big crowds and these kind of things, right? And we see that these things actually can affect a person in their day-to-day life, like in work, school, what have you. So, I'm going to break it down again into symptoms, causes, and treatment. So, there are three main types of symptoms: there's emotional and behavioral, physical, and the environment. So, I'm going to break it down a little further for you to understand the types of symptoms that you want to look out for someone who is actually suffering from social anxiety disorder. So, for the emotional aspect, people who suffer from this, they tend to feel embarrassed, humiliated. They have just a fear of people judging them, like I said before, and they are insecure, right? And they don't really want to open up, and they're pretty closed in. Then we have the physical aspect of it. They would actually experience increased heart rate. They might feel dizzy. They would actually feel a higher perspiration, some people even have upset stomach and they feel dizzy, and all of these other types of symptoms that you want to look out for someone who's actually showing this physical sign, right? And for the environmental aspect, it's just what it is. If a place is too crowded, a person who has social anxiety, they will not want to be in that crowd, right? They would feel like, oh my word, this is really too much, right? They would get claustrophobic. They would experience the physical symptoms I just spoke about, and they might even have that emotional symptom as well, where they have this fear of being in a situation in a crowd and what could happen, right? So the causal factors can also stem from inheritance. Again, genetics. If someone in the family had it before, they could also develop it. Then there's also the environmental factors. If they were born into a home that kind of does not help embrace and support the person, they might just have fears of being in open spaces with strangers and whatnot. So that is also a reason why a person could suffer from social anxiety. And then some people, their brain structure, the way, parts of the brain itself can be structured in such a way that it has not developed enough to help the person cope with this anxiety, right? Because we all have fears, nothing is wrong with that, but some people don't know how to cope with it as good as some, and that is why it becomes a problem if it affects their daily life. And last but not least, the treatments. Again, they can take medications, of course, prescribed by a professional, and they can even have psychotherapy. They could also reach out to just loved ones and try opening up and talking so that they get more comfortable with being around people and not fearing that everybody is going to judge or make them feel less than, because nobody is like that, right? And nobody should be making others feel like that. So these are some of the little treatments. There are way lots more, but I hope that this video has enlightened you about social anxiety disorder, and you get some more information about what are the signs that you want to look out for to help a friend.